Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Alya Aina binti Muhamad Azami and I am from AS229-2A. So today I would like to start my oral presentation for EVT 474. My oral presentation topic would be human activities have contributed to climate change, and this oral presentation was prepared for Dr. Sabarina. So first, what is climate change? Climate change refers to when the Earth's climate system can result in new weather pattern, which can last ranging from several decades to even millions of years. Climate change also refers to significant change in measure of climate, such as temperature, precipitation, and also wind. So, what is the causes of climate change? This shift may be natural, such as slow variations in solar cycle and also volcanic eruptions. But since 18,000s, human activities have been the main sources of climate change. Scientists also say that 95% of sources climate change can come from human activities. So, why did it say so? It is because the energy consumption we use in every day. Everything we do in our entire economy based on our energy. We are using energy all the time, from the moment we woke up and to the moment we go to bed to sleep at night. So we can take a look at this picture. This picture shows that how much energy we consume every day in our house. We consume a lot of energy, even when you are plugging your phone. We can see also the trends in the graph shows that year by year, energy consumption is increased. In this industrialized world, energy mostly comes from fossil fuel. We burn fossil fuel, coal, gas, and oil to power our energy generation, to heat our home, drive our factories, to power our cars and trains. Burning fossil fuels will produce a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere as a waste product, and this will cause the climate change. As I mentioned earlier, the releasing of gas carbon dioxide in atmosphere can cause climate change, and also there is another factor that increasing the carbon dioxide. Since the industrial revolutions happened, human carbon emission have increased too. We can take a look at this graph. We started breaking carbon dioxide record in 1950 and haven't stopped it since then. It keep increasing year by year. Since the beginning of industrial era, human activity have raised the atmospheric concentration of carbon dioxide by about 50%. The time series shows global distributions and variation of the concentration of mid-tropospheric carbon dioxide in parts per million. There are many factors why this carbon emissions of human is increased. It is because population growth, increase in development, advancement in technology, and also economic growth. Another human activities that can cause the climate change is because the increase of methane. So nowadays, when people consuming more products from animal, it will release another pollutant called methane. How this is happen? Cattle such as dairy cows or beef cattle produce methane as a byproduct of digestion. Then when food enters a bovine stomach, it undergoes a process called enteric fermentation. As is shown in this diagram, how entering fermentation process occurs. So as the food particles ferment, they will produce a methane. Then every time cattle belch and to a smaller extent such as flatulate, methane gas will release to atmosphere, then the climate change will happen. So all of these gases that will release in the atmosphere, and when sunlight gets into the Earth's atmosphere, some of the heat gets trapped and planets get warm, and that is how the climate change will happen. So I will show you a video to help us to better understanding about how this climate change is actually happen.
How have humans changed things? Since the dawn of the industrial age, around the year 1750, atmospheric carbon dioxide has increased by 40%, and methane has almost tripled. These increases cause extra infrared light absorption, meaning an extra greenhouse effect, which has caused Earth to heat above its typical temperature range. In other words, energy that gets to Earth has an even harder time leaving it, causing Earth's average temperature to increase, thus producing global climate change.
There are many effects of climate change that need to be concerned because climate change leads to long-term and devastating impacts for the natural environments, ecosystem, and also human society. So, I will talk about effects on the oceans, effects on the animals, and also effects on the human health. So first, the effects on the oceans when climate change happens. So when temperature rise, the glacier melt faster, then they accumulate a new snow. So when these ice sheets and glacier melt, the water flows into the oceans and causing the sea level rise. The sea level rise will cause destructions of eruptions, flooding of wetland, aquifer and agricultural soil, contamination with salt. Second, the rising temperature coupled with oceans acidification will affect the marine species and ecosystem. A warmer water temperature in oceans result in coral bleaching as it shows in this diagram. So next, we see how this climate change has affected animals. First, we can see on this video, polar bear rely on sea ice to survive and they are struggling. The polar bear is living on a small piece of ice, which shows that this climate change have destroyed their homes and family. That this climate change happens because of us, because of humans' activities. Second, due to drop in distributions, many wildlife animals shift their places for searching food and water in order for them to survive. This climate change also affected humans in terms of human health. So how this climate change affected human health? It is because the rising temperature in the tropical will allow mosquitoes to thrive, causing the spread diseases like dengue, fever, and also malaria. Second, the heat wave cause problem, dehydrations, and maybe the person can die from stroke. So this is how this climate change affected human health.
The UN says that right now, our world is about 1 degree hotter than pre-industrial times. That's around the year 1800, which is okay. In fact, the UN says if we warm by 1.5 degrees before the end of the century, we should be fine. The UN even says 2 degrees would probably be all right. But again, the problem is speed. Because right now, we're on track to hit 1.5 degrees in only 10 years. And if we don't slow that warming down, it could mean catastrophe within my lifetime, and maybe yours too. And we're already getting a taste.
So, based on that video, it says that right now, we are on track to hit 1.5 degree in only 10 years. And if you don't do anything about it, it will cause harmful to our world because temperature will keep increase year by year. So if there is any solution to help with climate change, of course it does. First, by change your lifestyle. There are 4 ways to help you to change your lifestyle. First, use the energy efficient light bulb. Did you know the energy efficient light bulb can last up to 12 times as long as a traditional bulb? It also using less electricity and it also energy efficient option that can help you to reduce carbon emissions in your house. Second, buy air dryer clothes instead of using a power using machines like dryer. It will only not just help you to save energy, but it is also environmental friendly, save money, and can reduce your wrinkles on your clothes. Third, buy turn off electronics when you are not using them. Fourth, buy eat less meat. Did you know that if you are changing your omnivorous diet with a vegan diet, the average person can prevent the emission of about 1.5 tons of carbon dioxide and also gas methane in the atmosphere? That will help you a lot to save the world from climate change. A second solution that can help you to reduce climate change by using a renewable energy such as solar and wind energy. The energy from the sun and the wind are infinite, unlike the fossil fuel, so we will never run out of them. And lastly, buy drive an electric or fuel-efficient car. You can replace your regular car with Toyota Prius. Did you know that the average person can prevent the emission of about 1 ton of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere if they are using the electric fuel-efficient car? But not everyone can afford to just buy a new car. So, in a different way to help you can walking or cycling or even take public transportation. So, in conclusion, the objective for this oral presentation was achieved, which are to define what is climate change, second, to be able to know what is the effect of climate change, and lastly, to give solution to reduce the climate change. We as a human are part of this world, thus let us contribute in taking care of it. It is not yet too late for us to lessen the so-called climate change. This little thing will become great if everybody will participate to save the world, so that we can live happily in this world. So that's all from me. Thank you for listening.